Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. So anyway, I'm trying to catch up on a few things that I've been wanting to talk about and haven't been able to because I've been, doing so much on the mushroom murder trial. And this is one of the things that I've been wanting to talk about for a little while, haven't had a chance to. And this is, of course, the official family, family sort of acknowledged documentary, Channel 4 documentary, that will be coming out soon, that will be on Channel 4 soon. Now, about Jay Slater. Now, I think we all remember the Jay Slater case has just caused an absolute, social media storm and mainstream media storm. Everybody was talking about Jay Slater when this poor guy, 19 years old, disappeared in Tenerife while he was on holiday in Tenerife, and searches went on for him for quite a long time. His family had to go over to Tenerife, deal with the language barrier, deal with the fact that the Spanish police work differently. They're not necessarily that forthcoming. But the thing is, especially when you're dealing with, when you haven't got the language, and not only that, you don't know how they work. I mean, I don't know who was, interpreting for Jay's family, but, what I've seen in a lot of cases that have happened in Spain, sometimes it's people that don't know how to deal with the Guardia, and dealing with the Guardia is beyond the language. It doesn't matter if you speak Spanish or not, if you don't know how to deal with the Spanish police, there's a certain way of dealing with them. But anyway, I keep saying that, nobody listens to me, but, that's the way it is. Anyway, finally, very sadly, of course, Jay was found, or at least his remains were found. He had fallen into a ravine, despite what everybody else, a lot of people say, about conspiracy theories or whatever. I'm not here to deal with that. I'm here to tell you what the official explanation was. And as far as I'm concerned, it makes perfect sense. Jay, for whatever reason, he was fleeing from that Airbnb where he was staying, or not fleeing, but trying to get home. Now, it may be that there's more to it, the reasons why he went to the Airbnb, the reasons why he felt like he had to leave straight away. There may be more to that, and I think that is what his mum, Debbie, what she, made clear at the inquest. She's not happy with the official version. I think Debbie feels like he had an accident. I don't think she feels like there was any conspiracy theories or any foul play involved in how Jay died. I think Debbie's concern, from what she says, is why did he go to the Airbnb? Why did he leave the Airbnb and decide to make this trek to find his way home? To me, that just, he thought he could make it home. Jay's not a hiker and he didn't know the area. Even people who know that area have come to, unfortunately fell into ravines and misjudged the circumstances of that, that horrible terrain. So personally, I don't think there's anything suspicious about the way Jay died. I think he was trying to make his way back to his apartment, and he just got it all completely wrong because he wasn't thinking straight. Having said that, I do wonder why he went back to the Airbnb in the first place. To me, this is the question, and why he suddenly felt in the morning that he had to go. And I think this is what Debbie wants to know. So just excuse me a minute, because I'm just going to go and close my... I'm just going to close my blinds because it's very hot here. Of course, I'm in Spain. This case of Jay happened about this time last year, didn't it? It was about, was it July? I can't remember the exact date when Jay went missing. We covered it on my channel. Sorry. There you go. Get the blinds down. All that sun coming in. It's too hot. We covered it from day one. Didn't we? We were talking about from day one. Jay's case, as soon as I saw it, it attracted my attention because Jay is from the part of the world that I'm from the north of England. Also because it was Spain, of course, although it was Tenerife, which is in the Canary Islands. I don't live in the Canary Islands. If I had of, I would have been there sort of actually going and talking to people. But anyway, I don't. I live in mainland Spain, so it's quite a long way away. But we covered it from day one. There's a playlist on my channel. If you, maybe you're coming into this case, you don't know about this case, because some of my subscribers are recent subscribers. They've come in through other cases. If you want to know about the Jay Slater case, which caused a stir across the world, you can see my, just, you know, search for my playlist, Jay Slater, in my channel. I've done many, many videos about Jay from day one when he went missing. I've covered this case, so all the information is on there. So what happened, right, just before I get into the story, let me just say thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Don't forget to subscribe. Press notification bell if you want updates on this case and others that I cover. Thank you to my members. Special thank you to my members. Special thank you to people who buy me a Ko-fi or send me a super sticker or send me an email, leave me a nice message, support my channel in any way. Thank you so much. Then I can take this banner off. The other thing I want to say is, hello, lovely lurkers. And if you're a lovely lurker, I love you. Thank you so much for watching. If you're a loathsome lurker, adios. Go off and watch another channel. And what else? Now I'm going to... Oh, nobody's in the chat. Now, there's quite a few people watching, but nobody's in the chat at the moment. But anyway, I'll try and remember to say hello to people as I go along, but if not, no problem. Okay, and if you do decide to come into the chat, don't worry about saying whatever you think. Maybe you think there is foul play involved in Jay Slater's death. That's fine. You can express your opinion on my channel, no problem. As long as you don't attack people who have a different view to you. Some people believe that it was an accident, like me. Some people don't, but that's fine. I don't criticize anyone for having their views on what happened, because none of us were there. At the end of the day, none of us were there when Jay actually fell into that ravine or whatever happened to him. So we don't know 100%. So we can have our theories, we can talk around it. I think what we all have in common is that we would, you know, we care about Jay, and we all agree that it's awful for a 19-year-old for their life to be cut short like that. So we all agree on that. So yeah, express your opinion, but be respectful. Respectful to me or any other chatters, as will be respectful to you. Everyone's entitled to their view on this. But of course, the people that really matter are the family, because they're the ones who have to live with this. You know, Jay, this case sort of attracted all our attention last year. But you know what? We got up in the morning, our life hadn't changed, had it? You know, get up in the morning and you're not, you know, there's no one missing from your household or from your family parties or from your Christmas or whatever. Whereas for Jay's family, this was real to them. And, you know, Jay's family, especially Debbie, Jay's mum, the vitriol, on social media, you know, the jealousy, the anger, the nastiness about the GoFundMe, etc. I mean, we've just seen a case recently of someone who had a GoFundMe because their wife died abroad, and the GoFundMe raised £250,000. Nobody said a dicky bird. And then the GoFundMe for Jay Slater, you know, to pay for searchers, to pay for his funeral, to bring his body home, etc., raised, what was it, about 80,000 euros. And everyone was sort of like, you know, saying as if, you know, Debbie, his mom, Jay's mom, you know, oh God, she had her nails done, or she did this, or she did that. I hope she did have her nails done. I hope she has her nails done every week. Because you know what, that mother, she wakes up every morning and her son is not there with her. He was living with her. You know, she's the one that's missing him. And any, you know, if she's got a couple of grand to go on holiday or to get her nails done or buy herself a new handbag, you know, good for her as far as I'm concerned. And if you didn't give to that GoFundMe, you've got what right has anyone got to tell somebody else what to do with their money? I've seen this a lot on the internet. It's like, oh, don't give money to them. Don't do this. Don't do that. You can't tell people what to do with their own money. People earn their money. They do what they want with it. If they want to give it to, I don't know, whatever they want to give it to, it's up to them. So, and especially if you haven't given any money yourself, what right have you got to give any money to make a comment? Anyway, there you go. So I think maybe people, I don't know what people are like now with Debbie. I don't know what sort of social media attention she's getting now. I hope it's better than it was. I mean, she will have got support as well, because at the end of the day, you get a lot of support, you get a lot of hate. That's the thing about social media. As soon as you go on social media, you'll get some hate, you'll get some love. You know, you can't, you know, you can't control people. People come on my channel, maybe they like me, maybe they don't like me. But then if they don't like me, why are they coming on my channel? You know, it's not an obligation. You know, this is what gets me. People go, oh, you know, I'm not watching this channel anymore, or I don't agree with you. Like, don't agree with me, then go and watch another channel. Really do not care. Anyway, there are some people in the chat now. So I'm going to say hello to them. Hey, Joanne. Hi, Darren. Hi, Annie. Hi, Sean. Yeah, maybe it should be an open verdict. I think it's, well, anyway, we'll see. As far as the Spanish police are concerned, it was an accident. So, of course, the other thing that's recently happened is they did have the British inquest, which was a disaster, wasn't it? A fiasco. The witnesses didn't turn up. You just feel like it was completely badly planned. All of it was just a load of rubbish, wasn't it? And you know, it was like Debbie once asked the coroner, Mr. Aidley, who we remember from the Nicola Bulley case, and said to him, you know, I want the people. The thing is, the last people that saw Jay, whether you believe it was an accident or you don't believe it was an accident, if you were a mother of a 19-year-old boy who suddenly died on, you know, off he went on holiday and he never came home, you would want to talk to the last people that saw him alive, the last people that knew what had happened to him, who were out with him, you know, and this was, of course, Rocky and Ayub. I personally don't think there's anything suspicious, not in the sense of actually killing Jay. I think, you know, there was probably some drugs involved and stuff like that. You know, I don't know. But again, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't think they probably even remember really properly what happened, because they were completely off their heads. You know, so it's like, yeah, you know, yeah. But at the end of the day, you can't be talking about Debbie that way, in my opinion. Yeah, why be so nasty to a mum? Yeah, I agree, Annie. Do you know what I think might have happened? And of course, Ayub's not going to say that. Ayub and Rocky were supposed to be going home, weren't they, the next day? I wonder if they said to Joe, oh, you know, you can have these drugs we've got left over or whatever. Because they're not going to take the drugs on the plane, are they? So I just wonder if Jay was going back there to get some drugs. But we still don't know what was in Jay's bag, do we? Were there drugs in his bag? Had he got drugs from those people? You know, we just don't know. It's so much that we don't know. So the inquest was abandoned, basically, wasn't it? It was abandoned, and the inquest is going to be replayed, if you like, or done again when the witnesses are found, etc. Again, it just seemed ridiculous. How could they not be able to find the witnesses? I just think it wasn't prepared. Hi, Davis. Hi, Funky Drifter. No, it's not released yet. We're not going to watch it on here. No, I'm going to just tell you about it. And I don't know. We're going to see when it's going to be on. Okay. So, yeah, everyone's got their views on Jay, but at least they found Jay. Spanish police found him. He was in the ravine. Like some people think he was pushed down there, but of course, even the search party that was employed by the family said people you couldn't carry a body up there. And then some people were using conspiracy to saying a helicopter put him down there, as if nobody would notice a helicopter hovering over to drop a body down a ravine. You know, there's just the most crazy things been said in this case. And as I say, as far as the Spanish inquest, autopsy, etc. is concerned, it was accidental death. Now, we'll find out later in the year, will the inquest here in the UK back it up or not? So we've got to find out about that. Now, in the meantime, now, one thing I want to say is I'm not going to be talking about Mark Williams Twonk and his podcast that he did, which is just, you know, what I've realised about Mark Williams Thomas, you know, just like his mate, Peter Folding, they know nothing. They just like attention, and any attention is better than no attention. So if I put on, you know, Mark Williams Twonk's podcast, that's attention for him about the podcast. I haven't even watched it. That's how totally uninterested I am in it, because I don't believe now. I feel like Mark Williams Twonk is not credible, anything he does. So what's the point in watching it? Because it's probably not true anyway. Same with Peter Folding, as far as I'm concerned. So as far as I'm concerned, just pretend they don't exist, because they're not reliable, and they just try and stir things up. You know, they're like they think they're different from social media creators, but they're actually not. In fact, they're worse, because they pretend that they're legitimate and they're absolutely not. So I'm not going to be talking about that. I'm just going to be talking about this documentary that's coming up on Channel 4 that the family have. It's just stop that. It's supposed to be the official documentary. So Channel 4 commissions from Candor Productions the disappearance of Jay Slater. So this is sanctioned by Jay's family, you know. So hi Julie. Hi Julie, hope you're okay. You enjoying the heat? Probably not. So Channel 4 commissions from Candor Productions the disappearance of Jay Slater. So this is the inside exclusive story of what happened to Jay Slater, as the world's media were following the story minute by minute last summer. So it was around this time, wasn't it, last summer? Candor Productions in Leeds were in an incredibly unique position. They had access to the coronial process in Lancashire. They had access from Jay's post-mortem. So why is that? Why did they have access from Jay's to Jay's post-mortem? To Jay's inquest, the team have been with the family every step of the way over the last year as they try and understand exactly what happened to Jay outside of the public gaze. The disappearance of Jay Slater is the family's story and shows them as they search for answers about what happened to Jay, witnessing the conspiracy theories raging online, the subsequent horrific abuse they received as a family, which is an hourly onslaught that continues to this day. So people are still trolling them, saying horrible things. Amid huge speculation around Jay's disappearance and the enormity of the press intrusion, these cameras were the only media in the world granted full access to film both Jay's post-mortem and inside the church at Jay's funeral. This is a film not only about a tragedy, the story of Jay, a young lad who adored his family and his friends who went to Tenerife to enjoy a music festival. Now, of course, there's a lot of slander was said about Jay. You know, Jay had, let's say, when he was young, he'd got involved in the wrong things, he'd done bad things. But it seemed like he'd turned his life around, you know, when he was 16. Hi, blank faces. Julie, I feel like a limp lettuce as well. I feel like a limp lettuce as well. Now, I just want to say I've just had to get rid of, you know, every time I ever even mention Mark Williams Twonk or Peter Folding, hello, trolls. Hello, Peter Folding trolls. Hello, Mark Williams Twonk trolls. I'm not talking about you anymore. I'm not interested in you. You're not credible. So you won't be mentioned. Your podcast, anything you say won't be mentioned on my channel anymore. But I know you send your trolls in. And you were doing that, weren't you? You were doing that. But you know what? They're just going straight away. You know, go and troll somebody else. So who is that? Who is that, Annie? The lady YouTuber has been truly horrific about. I know I say don't mention other YouTube channels, but I'd like to know who that was. Because, you know, sometimes you have to call out these horrible people. You know, they have to be called out, don't they? And if they want to come after me, well, they can come after me. I couldn't care less. You know, whatever I say, it will be official, what official sources say, what the family says. As I say, I'm not waking up in the morning and thinking, oh my God, poor Jay, you know, every morning. Jay didn't live with me. Jay lived with his mum. You know, Jay saw his dad, his brother. They're the ones that are missing him. It's not me who's suffering, not that woman YouTuber who's been horrible about Jay's mum. You know, her life's carrying on the same. How dare she? Do you imagine if one of her loved ones, something happened to them and people started attacking her? People who didn't even know him attacking her. I will never attack Jay's family. Never, about anything. They did nothing wrong. Jay went on holiday and he died. Debbie didn't do anything. Warren didn't do anything. Zach didn't do anything. They just lost their loved one. How can people, you know, what I just don't get it. And you know, those sort of YouTubers, TikTokers, honestly, they are foul and they give other YouTubers, TikTokers a bad name. You see a lot of it, and I always try and stay out of all that drama. But you know what? Sometimes you just think you have to just say you are a piece of shit for what you're saying. Anyway, so the disappearance of, I'm reading it again. So Rita Daniels, oh, no. A young lad who adored his family and his friends. He went to Tenerife to enjoy a music festival. He saw that also the story of the new world we live in, of online true crime armchair detectives. This is what I mean. They give people a bad name. I'm not an online detective. I'm not an armchair detective. I'm not a detective. What I have is an interest in true crime. I like to talk about cases and give awareness to them. And also, my followers, they like to hear about these cases. If we can help in any way, that's great. But I'm not a detective. I'm not going to find out who murdered somebody or who didn't murder somebody. That's the police's job, not my job. I'm just here to talk about it. It's Vicky Marie Chats. It's not Vicky Marie is a detective. I'm not a detective, armchair or otherwise. I'm just someone who's talking about things, cases that need highlighting, that people are interested in. So the consequences of the feral, unchecked online world. And I would always disagree with that, but some of the things I've seen recently about other cases, you just think, oh my God. There are TikTokers and YouTubers out there who will say anything to get a click. So Rita Daniels, commissioning editor, says, the story of Jay Slater captured the nation last summer with a fervour and intensity fueled by armchair detectives and internet culture. Now, don't forget, the internet has solved crimes as well, even unintentionally. There was that, if you've seen that Netflix documentary, Don't F-U-C-K with Cats. They were they were proper internet detectives that caught a murderer. And then if you're with the Gabby Petito case, if it wasn't for people that use the internet for blogging and this, that, and the other, her van would not have been seen. And would Gabby Petito's body have ever been found? So do you know what? That's it. It's not all negative. It's not all negative in the it's not all negative in the internet world, is it? The internet can do good things as well, but unfortunately the bad ones do sort of, the bad ones do sort of unfortunately cast aspersions on the good ones, don't they? Yeah, I'll tell you something, I would be having my nails done whatever was happening, especially if you had to go on the telly. It's like, what is there something wrong with having your nails done? I mean, all right, you're not on the very first day that you hear that someone's gone missing, you're not going to do that. But, that probably would be the last thing. Anyway, I'm not even getting into those. It's just silly. Nobody knows what they would do in their if they were ever. And I hope to God that I and you and anyone else is never in that position where they have to find out what they would do. So yeah, we're so glad to be working with Anna on a sensitively handled exploration of the family's experience and understanding the impact of being in the middle of a social media storm. It's a little bit annoying, what she's saying, because it wasn't just a social media storm. The mainstream media was all over it. I mean, I only ever really talk about what I see in the mainstream media anyway. I didn't go over to Tenerife and investigate. So you're relying on what the mainstream media, who do go over to these places and, tell us what's going on or what they're saying is going on. We're reliant on that. So they keep mentioning the social media. I think I told you, I certainly told my members, I had a request from, was it Amazon Prime, who apparently making a documentary about Nicola Bulley and, being in a social media storm. And they emailed me and asked if I would take part in it. Like, you know, if they're, oh, no, they didn't actually say, would I take part in it? They asked if they could use some of my content. And I said, no, because, oh, well, what I said to them was, you have to tell me which content it is you want to use. In what context are you using it? If all you're going to say is how terrible social media is, then no, you can't use it. And they asked me if I had any TikTok. Now I wasn't really into TikTok at all when the Nicola Bulley case was going on. So basically I said no, and I pointed them in the direction of a few other social media people who talk the biggest load of crap you've ever heard about the Nicola Bulley case, you know, saying that she was sort of, you know, pushed into the river by an old lady, or, you know, kept in a bloody, you know, listen, there's so much crap. So I pointed them in the direction of these people. I said, look, you want some, you know, fantasist sort of social media content, contact these people. And I don't know what happened, whether they did or whether they didn't. I haven't seen an Amazon Prime video come out yet. But no, I'm not having my content, you know, distorted. And then it's like they've got no control. I've got no control over my own content. And the thing with the Nicola Bulley case is a lot of the content I put out was based on what Peter Falding said, which all turned out to be a right load of rubbish anyway. So, you know, I don't feel confident in the content. It's still up there. It's on my channel still. But bearing in mind that the content about Nicola Bulley that I made, certainly up until Peter Falding came up with his big lies, was all because I trusted Peter Falding. I believed what he said. And so a lot of it was based on what he had to say, which turned out to be lies. So, you know, I don't feel confident about my Nicola Bulley content. So we are so glad to be working with Anna on a sensitively handled exploration of the family's experience and understanding the impact of being in the middle of a social media storm, amplified by grief. The film holds a light up to our current society and is exactly the story that is a necessity for Channel 4 to tell. So executive producer Anna Hall said, "We've been working with Debbie and Warren and Jay's wider family since last June." So I think they've been working with them right from the beginning. Let's have a look at some pictures. Hi, David. Hi, Sharon. Hi, anyone else I might have missed coming in? Darren. Hi, Darren. So let's have a look. So this was Debbie, and she turned up when she was at the inquest. So this was at the inquest. Oh, she's had her nails done. How terrible. Oh, gosh. Fancy that. Look, I've had mine done. Well, I haven't had them done, actually. I've done them myself. Oh, how dare she have her nails done? Poor Debbie. She should have just turned up in a bin bag. She should have just turned up at that inquest where there's going to be all photographers and this, that, and the other. She should have just turned up in a bin bag. How dare she have her nails done? God almighty. So she turned up. She cut a little bit of a lonely figure, I thought, because then Warren turned up with Zach, her other son, or their other son, and someone else. But anyway, I don't know what the relationship is between all the family. Obviously, Warren and Debbie, they're not together anymore. So, you know, who knows what happened there, but they seem to spend time together in Tenerife. So I hope they've found a way to come together over the loss of Jay, because, you know, it's, I really feel for Debbie. I've always felt for her right from day one. I just don't understand why people are horrible to her. Literally don't. Yeah, blue nails for Jay, probably because, yeah, she, at the funeral, she asked, didn't she, that everyone should wear blue. Anyway, there you go. I don't know. The thing is, some people, they'll never be convinced. You know, they'll hate on a mother that has lost their son. You know, what? Anyway, never mind. Just like, what's wrong with you? So, where are we? So, we've been working with Debbie and Warren and Jay's wider family since last June. What we've witnessed has been utterly horrific. Not only the pain of a family in deep grief, but the full onslaught of the online world. The world of TikTokers and YouTubers who feel that they can say whatever they like. But you know, I just wish they wouldn't put all YouTubers in one lump, you know, because not all YouTubers are like that. Or all TikTokers, I'm presuming. Well, I mean, I wouldn't call myself a TikToker. I put bits of my videos on TikTok just because, you know, that's what people do. I don't understand TikTok in the slightest. You know, gradually, you know, I think I've got about 700 and something followers on TikTok. But yeah, I don't understand TikTok or use it in a big way. So I wouldn't call myself a TikToker. But, you know, I have seen some horrible things on TikTok. And there are some true crime people out there on TikTok. Just say anything. They don't care about upsetting the family, not only in the Jay Slater case, but any case. Don't care about upsetting the family. They don't care about anything. And they don't back up anything they say with any proof. They just say it. And the thing is, once you've said it, if I could sit here now and say, oh yeah, you pushed Jay over that ravine, you know, and if you don't back it up, but once you've said it, then people start talking about it, don't they? Be like, oh, Vicky Marie Chat said that it was Ayub who did it, or there must be something in it. I've just got a feeling. You know, that's the sort of thing that they say, isn't it? I've just got a feeling there's definitely something strange about this, with no evidence whatsoever. And then they get angry with people who are asking for evidence. And yet they're the ones that will ask for evidence when it comes to the police, and they don't like the police, and they don't like this, and they don't like that. They want evidence of everything, except when it's something that they believe in, then they don't think that you need evidence. It's appalling what's happened to Jay's family, and we hope this film will help to bring awareness of the real life consequences of online speculation. It's an unmonitored world. You know, we've got to be careful, because then they're going to start monitoring what people say. And, you know, everyone who's bleating on about free speech, that's the other thing these people do. Oh, it's my free, you know, Betty bullshit as far as the Sebastian Rogers case is concerned. Oh, it's my right to free speech. It's not your right to free speech to accuse someone of cutting someone up and hiding their body without any evidence. That's not your right to free speech. You know, your right to free speech is to maybe say, oh, I think maybe they've got something to do with it, or this, that. But not to say things like that. That is not free speech. That is slander. That is everything bad about social media. I mean, she's an awful woman, Betty Bullshit. Absolutely awful. So it's an unmonitored world where fake news runs rife, and this film shows the devastating impact this has had on one grieving family. So this, of course, is very popular in the mainstream media at the moment, because the mainstream media is so threatened by social media. But, you know, to me, it's like, there's no point in trying to pretend social media doesn't exist. It exists. It's not going away. It's not going to stop. But then you can maybe put some stricter rules on it. You know, I mean, I don't know what the answer is. I literally don't know what the answer is. I just wish YouTubers, TikTokers, anyone on social media would be responsible themselves. Anyway, so the disappearance is of Jay Slater is a single film. The executive producer, Anna Hall. It's directed by Annalise Edwards. for Canda Productions and commissioned by Rita Daniels from Channel 4. So they're all women. It's a very female thing, isn't it? The producer's female, the director's female, and it was commissioned by Rita Daniels, who's a female. So when is it coming out? Now, I think it's coming out sometime soon, personally, but let's just check. But of course, the inquest is not finished, is it? So because the inquest was abandoned, you know, when it won't be finished, will it? Because the inquest is not finished. So how's that going to work? So when is it actually coming out? This is Lancashire Live. So everybody's talking about it, but nobody's actually saying when is it going to be released. I'm sure I saw something not long ago saying it was going to be on soon, but maybe I was imagining that. So they're all saying that it's going to come on Channel 4, but nobody's saying actually when. Have a look at the Daily Mail. Are they going to say the same thing? I'm sure I saw an article not long ago saying, oh, that was his funeral. We watched his funeral. Do you remember? Oh, hang on, let me share the tab. This was Jay's funeral, yeah, so all blue, isn't it? You know, and I think at that funeral, Debbie was heartbroken. You know, how anyone could not, you know, feel that. Oh, God, they're going to mention Mark Williams' twonk. I can't be doing with him. Ugh. Right. Does anybody know when it's actually going to be aired? Let me try again. I don't think it'll be aired surely until the inquest is finished. Hey, baby. Oh, the dog's there. Hello, darling. Hello, baby. Hello. Hello. You don't care, do you? You just don't care. Like, you think you could just sort of put that in and it would just say, oh, it's going to be on next Thursday at 10 o'clock or whatever. Let's have a look at this. Channel 4 will air an exclusive new documentary. Well, yeah, but when? When? Yeah, people not happy about it. A lot of people won't be tuning in. Well, I would definitely be tuning in, that's for sure. I would definitely be tuning into it. I don't think we're going to really find out anything from it, but I would definitely be looking at it. But no, there's no date, is there? No date. The family story, but when? When? I don't think we're going to see this documentary until the inquest's finished. And the inquest's not going to be finished till the autumn, is it? Because they had to get hold of all the witnesses. Right, I'm just coming back. Does anyone know when it's actually going to be broadcast? Let me just get rid of that. Is it just me that can't find it? Anybody know? Yeah. Yeah, it is strange, David, but you know what? I don't think they even knew that inquest was taking place, personally. And I don't understand how people can refuse to attend it. Well, not that they refused. Didn't some of them then come and say that they would give evidence by internet? And then Debbie said no, she wanted them there so she could ask them questions. Isn't that what happened at the inquest? I don't think that the inquest was organised properly for whatever reason. I'm looking forward to hearing what the family have to say. So I think you always have to, whether it'll make any difference to anything, I don't know. But at the end of the day, the family, as I say, they're the ones waking up every morning without Jay. They're the ones that it counts for. It doesn't make any difference to my life, doesn't make any difference to your life or anybody else's life, only the family. So we'll see. I still haven't been able to find when the actual bloody documentary was. I know where I might be able to find it. Hang on. I'm sure I saw something that said when it would be. But now I can't find it. Might be able to find it on Facebook somewhere. Good old Facebook. Not. I can't find any date of it coming out. Hey. Shh, shh, shh. Hey. No. Listen, as soon if I do find, the actual date that it's coming out, I will post it in a community post. But as far as I cannot see anything that says, hi, Sandra. I can't find anything that says the actual date of the documentary. So are they just teasing us? I suppose, at the end of the day, Channel 4 can say what they like. Oh, these social media people doing this, that, and the other. Channel 4 are not making this documentary out of the goodness of their heart. They're making the documentary because they think it'll make money. That is the way it is, isn't it? They're not thinking, oh, let's make a documentary about Jay Slater because, it's like it will help the family. They're making the documentary because they think people will watch it and it'll be popular. So they're making it for financial reasons, not because they feel sorry for Jay Slater's family. They'll have paid Jay Slater's family money to do this. Of course they will. That's the way it is. So it's not, it's not like a charity documentary they're making. So how, really they shouldn't criticize any other social media who might be doing it for clicks or for whatever they're doing it. They're not doing it, Channel 4 are not doing it out of the goodness of their heart, are they? So Anyway, there you go. So I just thought I'd let you know about the documentary. I'm sorry I haven't been able to find actually when it's going out, because that would be the question that's on everybody's lips. When is this documentary going out? I can't help you with that question, but if I can find it, I will put it on a community post. So hopefully see you later, maybe, or definitely tomorrow. Look after yourself. Don't forget to like, subscribe. You know the drill by now. And the notifications, very important if you want updates, because if you don't press the notifications, or you won't get notifications and you could miss an update. And that's just the way it is. Okay, thank you. I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you. Bye.